Hey there, it's Lori here. I am stopping in today with a video for the second session of Camp Create over at My Favorite Things. My camp activity for today is Monochromatic Magic. Today we're going to be making an ombre style card using this new set Written in the Stars from the August release and also this Make Your Mark background stamp. To get started, I'm going to put down my Cropper Hopper divider. If you remember from the 12 by 12 paper storage from way back in the day, this is what I use. You can see it's kind of messy. To ink blend, stamp on. Anytime I'm going to get inky, I put this down first so I can just move this off and my workspace is still clean. So I've laid this down first and I'm going to use 3 different premium dye inks from My Favorite Things. The first one is Razzleberry. I'm going to use Ripe Raspberry and Bubblegum. To make this ombre look with the background easier, I'm going to be using these foam cosmetic wedges. These I got from Target. There's 32 in a package. They're just a really cheap thing to have in your craft room. And I've got one for each color. So to start this out, I'm going to go with the darkest color first. Obviously you can use any background stamp, but this one happens to have perfect little lines, so I'm just going to go every 4 with a different color, starting with the darkest first, Razzleberry. I'm inking up this foam wedge and then I'm just going to tap this onto the stamp. Then I'm going to go to the next color. Definitely with this technique you can't be afraid to get inky because your fingers are going to be pink, that's for sure. So with the next 4 lines, this is a little bit lighter ink, and then I'm going to go back over just a light hand to blend those two together so you don't see a definite line. And then I'm going to go back in with Bubblegum on the next 4 lines. And again, just a light hand between the two to get that blend. Now I want this to go kind of fade up into white, so I'm going to take a clean blender sponge and I'm just going to gently circle on the stamp just to kind of soften that edge of the bubble gum, and that way I have the 3 colors blending up into white. So I have an A2 size card front here and I'm going to lay that down on the background stamp. And then I have a sheet of typing paper to cover, and then I'm just rubbing that in to get a good image. And there you can see it goes from the dark pink and then the ombre monochromatic up into a nice white space. I have one little dot of pink right here that I don't want, so I'm going to use this mono sand eraser. It's from Tombow, just to clean up that little spot of ink. And because I don't want to touch the front of this because of my pink fingers, I'm going to use this stiff bristled paintbrush to just get rid of that eraser. To keep in line with the monochromatic theme, I decided to use a ripe raspberry card base. So I'm using my Score Buddy and I'm going to score the card at 5.5. Next, I'm going to use a piece of fun foam to adhere the background panel onto my card front. I find that ATG works the best to adhere fun foam to the cardstock. I did cut this panel down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. That way the pink card base will show through. I've used the Written in the Stars die to die cut part of the sentiment that's going to go on the front of the card. Before I put this on the card, I've left it in the negative, and I want to take a little bit of this darker ink, which is the Razzleberry, and I'm just going to do a little bit of blending on the bottom. This will just give another layer to the monochromatic color scheme we have going on. And it also just makes that sentiment die just pop. After I pulled it out, I realized it didn't have enough. So I'm going to go back in and just add a little bit more color. I'm also going to use the star die cuts that are also included. Next, I'm going to heat emboss part of the sentiment on this little banner. This is the part of the fishtail flag frames die. You have the 3 frames, and then obviously the twofer is the fact that you get 3 banner sizes all in one die. So this is a great die to add to your stash. I'm just going to use my embossing buddy and then stamp this in Versamark ink. Now it's time to assemble the card. I'm going to use Tombow Mono liquid glue, and I'm going to put some glue at the top of the T and at the bottom of the S and the R. I want the top of the R to overlap the black banner, and so I'm just making a little mark here where I'm going to cut that off. Next I'm going to take this jewel picker. This is made by Marvy. You can get these at Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to pick up these stars and just put glue right where I've got them laid down. This tool picker up is great for sequins or dewdrops or little small die cuts, anything that you've got to glue down. To finish off this card, it definitely needs some sparkle, so I've got frosted lace stickles, and I'm just going to coat each of the stars with the stickles. So this wraps up my project for the Monochromatic Magic Activity Day here at Camp Create. Don't forget there's other ways to create the ombre monochromatic look other than using background stamps and ink blending. You can also do a watercolor technique using a more concentrated color at the bottom and then diluting as you go up the cardstock. That gives you another monochromatic look. If you have questions, definitely send me an email or leave a comment. Don't forget that you have a chance to win some prizes. Remember that if you comment on the video, you're going to be eligible to win a $15 gift voucher from MFT. Also, if you play along with each craft day for the 5 days in session 2, you will also be eligible to win a $150 gift voucher to MFT stamps. So I definitely can't wait to see what you guys make, and I hope you've been inspired by my project. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.